So for a long time, I've always had a very complex relationship with deloading, specifically with calisthenic skills such as planche work. Now, keep in mind, I do some deloading sessions with like squat sessions, a lot of weighted movements. Those I seem to be okay with, mainly because it seems a lot more methodical in its training schemes, and you're not really deviating too much with exercise reps and just like exercise stimulus, alright? When it comes to isometric holds and calisthenic skills, there's a significantly higher demand in your neurological intensity. If you're doing planche holds and straddle holds, this puts a ridiculous amount of stress on your mind and in general, just like your CNS. So, because you're essentially just contracting and recruiting every single muscle fiber that is demanded in that hold. Now, why do I say that deloads are killing your gains? It's because in this session, this is a bit more of an individual preference and it's a lot more individualized. But I feel like if I just completely stop training for a whole week when I don't, depending on a schedule or whether I just don't feel that good, regardless of whatever my experience was, I'm not going to improve. I'll have a significant decrease in performance. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about long deloads, a week long deload where you're not training your movement whatsoever. You may be doing some exercises that incorporate some like chest movements or I guess like push movements that do recruit a bit of your shoulders. But again, this is more of a contraction of your thick, large muscle groups. The isometric demand of the planche is so much more specific. There's a lot of specificity to it. And when you don't constantly keep your mind primed to the neurological demand of the planche, it's so hard to keep in touch with it. Now, I definitely feel like my problem was whenever I deload, I tend to do it for like 2 to 3 days. I do it by feel. I think that's like the ideal way of doing it. But in this situation, my schedule could not be helped. I was moving houses, so I had to pack, and I didn't really have the facility nor the training time to do the planche. And keep in mind, the planche is a very oddly specific exercise. So I need to be doing the isometric holds, dynamics, a lot of straight arm work that's just purely working on intensity. And because of that, it's hard to do these kind of trainings very methodically or systematically. Now, keep in mind, this is my first session back after a week, so I'm going to continue to prime myself up. And again, what I like to stress the most is it's just that it's that neurological understanding. I don't understand this, and I want to learn from other people and have people suggest or comment in this video, because I honestly feel like taking a whole week break of hardly doing any planche training is not beneficial whatsoever. It is significantly better to just cut your training down by half and maintain the intensity. It seems confusing because this completely contradicts with the deload definition. A deload is a reduction in intensity and volume. You don't want to be constantly forcing that CNS intense like drive throughout that movement. And you would like to like reduce the degree, and you'll probably go down. You won't do like your maximum progression like leverage of the planche. So if you can do like a straddle for 3 seconds, you won't be doing straddle holds in your deload. You'll probably back it down to like an advanced tuck or like a straddle half lay, because again, that's like that CNS fatigue load management. A deload, in my perspective, a deload is for you to recover from all the CNS buildup. Because yes, although your body may recover over time, there's that small accumulation in your CNS fatigue that slowly builds up, and then you feel burnt out. Although your body may feel alright, you feel fresh, your brain just can't handle that demand. So it confuses me that with the planche, the traditional deload sessions don't quite match, or like it doesn't help for me personally, because I still feel like when I'm deloading, I still need those intense holds. I just need to reduce the volume. And I guess in a sense, the volume demand is indeed what also puts a lot of stress on the CNS. Yes, doing very high intense holds does put some stress on your CNS and like your neurological points, but yes, it's more like a stimulus point. It just peaks, and then you don't do it anymore to reduce that excess volume, that excess fatigue load. So because of that, I guess that's my hypothesis as to why ensuring that you keep your intensity high throughout all your planche training is most beneficial for deloads. Now, what I did really like was, because my main problem was I didn't feel like I felt as though I lost complete touch with the planche when I got back after like a 2 week, 1 to 2 week complete rest from the planche. So because I felt like I lost that touch, the resistance band work was almost revolutionary. It felt very, very good. Like the I guess like the balance, the movement, the hold, everything. It felt really good. I felt all the muscle fibers, and I almost recalled all the points that were of most stress in the planche. Now, when I was doing those static holds at the very start, just like my shuttle holds, they were atrocious. They were pretty bad, and the form was really bad. I could not even lean. My durations were really bad. But when I was doing those resistance band work, it slowly helped bring up into my mind like that understanding. I guess it's because I have that assistance, so it just puts me in the position without the need to focus on like that strength demand, and because of that, it's like a blueprint. It gives me that plan and understanding of how to do the movement. Although I may not have the materials, i.e. my strength, in that time, I still have the blueprints and still have that neurological playing around position to work with. And that is what was really helpful. And I think because of that, that's what really is accelerating my progression. Because normally, after I take a long deload, it takes me more than like 2 weeks to get back to where I'm at, because I never use resistance bands. But because of my recent implementation, I think this is what is revolutionary and is really helping like kickstart my progression. So yeah, that's basically it, and I'll finish it off here.